All right, guys, here we go once again. We're playing against Hampton and Richmond. We're not going to win this match. I'll tell you that. They're in second place. They are on the way to promotion. We are on the road. This doesn't bode well for us at all. We have not exactly been playing super well. We've lost, as you've seen, our last two matches. We still do, however, have 7 points out of 6, which is pretty good. I would say that that's actually pretty good. It's a pretty positive thing. We're hoping that we just don't get completely embarrassed here today. I think that's the best that we can hope for. And I'm a little bit concerned about morale on this team maybe falling apart, which I would consider to be really unfair since we have been playing over our heads. The Italian wins that in the back, and that's the end of that. Let's, Sarpong with a very good interception to Cunningham, 2-4, looking for boys, can't find him. Haran, and he's fouled. That is good. He just totally laid out. It looked like he was a victim of like gun violence there at the end. Seong with this up on the right side over to Badhawi. Badhawi retreats, then finds Seong again, and he's fouled again. We need to get some cards out here. How is Seong offside? There's no way. We need to get some cards out here for some of these fouls. That's what I think. That's a ridiculous offside call. I have the feeling that officials at this level don't know a foul from offside, so they know they need to call something, and they'll just call offside on whichever player last touched the ball. Haran over to Boyce. He was offside. Yep, there it is. And so, yeah, we're continuing to have trouble attacking. And, I mean, they just are faster than we are. There's not much we can do about that. If you're not particularly fast, you're going to have a hard time in this game. That's a corner for them. So that's, well, it's not a goal. That potentially could be a good thing, but we have to keep it out of the goal. We did a good job there. Now we have to continue to keep the ball out of the goal to be successful. Let's see what we can do. Inman has to go all the way back. That's a pretty good job there by our defense, and that didn't look too bad at all. Chu does a very good job here, but then Poodle's clearance is just absolutely horrible. I'm not sure why he decides to head that there. It was Whittingham with the shot. Danielowitz ends up saving it, which is good, but he's got to do it again. And fortunately, Whittingham's shot that time was up and over everybody's head. So that worked. Ager over to Whittingham, back to Ager, and that's over and above everybody's head once again. So we haven't had much in terms of an actual attacking movement so far, but at least we haven't given up a goal. It could be worse. It could always be worse. We need that kind of positivity here. And Chu to Cunningham. Let's head this out again. No, we just sort of set up O'Reilly. Fortunately, his shot was offline, but we need to do a better job learning how to clear the ball. Sarpong with it. It's an awful pass to Badhawi. We like to see the guys pass. We want to continue to make passes, but we need to make good passes instead of just passing for the sake of passing, and that should have been a goal. Cunningham was really lazy, and that guy came on him like greased lightning. Here's Poodle with the throw over to Boyce. Back to Poodle. Poodle brings this up on the left side forward for Haran, and he does a good job to win it to Chu. Chu looks for Masters over to Haran, back to Masters. This is good. Up forward for Boyce, who's going to be flagged for offside. No, he didn't. And, I mean, so that was something. He got in a position. It didn't last very long. This is the problem. When they're faster than you, they catch up with you pretty quickly, don't they? The Italian with it again, over for Masters, who is dispossessed from behind, and that's the issue that we have. It's like we're playing the game in slow motion is what it's like. Here's our Italian friend once again over to Chu, to Mac Masters, forward for Seong to Sarpong, and Seong's going to be called for offside. That, I think, was actually correct that time. And that's one of the problems that he has. He keeps coming back from an offside position to head the ball backwards, and you're not fooling anybody when you're doing that. And here comes the rain. Seong to Cunningham. Cunningham looking for Masters, and he gets it, and he takes a shot right into the back of the player in front of him. What kind of decision was that? Poodle with it, and that was almost an own goal. That was very, very close to being an own goal. I tell you, if we sneak one in here, wouldn't that be something? We are on the road. This is a match that we're not supposed to win. Boyce wins this in the back to Chu. Chu forward. He'll just lump it forward for Seong, who's miles offside, and he's been fouled in the penalty area. Are they going to give it? He's pointed to the spot, but the question is VAR going to confirm that this was a penalty? That's the big question, the million-dollar question of the day. They're going to consult, and it has been awarded. So we have won a penalty here against the run of play, and who's going to take it? Do we have anybody who knows how to take a penalty? Donaldson with the yellow card. Who is this? I didn't set anybody as my penalty taker, so it will be Poodle. Poodle puts it in. 1-0 Hallam. Hallam up 1-0. Daniel Poodle making it happen. 1-0 for Hallam. Again, this is incredible. Hallam are not supposed to beat this team that probably are going to be promoted at the end of the season. We're not supposed to be winning like this. We're supposed to have all sorts of problems and no money and no fans and all of this. This has been very unexpected. We just lost 2 matches in a row. You'd expect us to have some morale issues as a result, and the Italian heads that one away. I tell you, this first team that we have is actually pretty good. Poodle knocks his forward, looking for Seong, and that is headed back for a corner. 30 minutes into the match, so we better be careful. We don't want to count our chickens before they've hatched. Here comes Poodle taking this corner over, looking for Masters, can't find him. The Italian, can he win it? No, he can't, but there's Boyce in the back because we have so many men in the back. That's why you do it. Boyce forward for Seong, and he's offside. That's a ticky-tacky call. I mean, whatever. You know, I won't complain too much about it, but that was a little ticky-tacky, I think. And, boy, nice job by Danielowitz coming up with that save. Here's Seong again, and yeah, he's the ball is just taken away from him. I mean, it's too easy for them. That's the problem that we have. Wood was not offside, by the way, on that. That's another bad call. Here's Poodle. Poodle lumps his forward over for Cunningham, and you can forget about it. So so much for that. The rain keeps falling, though, and I think that the rain falling somehow is giving us some kind of advantage, at least so far. It might be taking away their speed advantage. Here's our Italian friend in the back to Danielowitz, back to the Italian. And that was not very good, so maybe you should try something else. He'll give it to Chu instead. Maybe you have a better job, or better luck passing it forward. Boyce gets it forward, but not very far. And yeah, now we have to play defense. Good job by Chu, though, and we keep it out. Seong with it, over to Badhawi, to Boyce. Counterattack, maybe. Now, it's we're not quite fast enough to do that, and we have a hard time keeping possession. That's one of the problems that we have. I would tell the guys to work harder in training, but we don't have much of a training staff, and we don't have much training equipment, as Whittingham's shot, fortunately, is wide. That was our Italian friend who knocked that one away and out for a corner, so that's what happened there. Yeah, I mean, you imagine that the training equipment that we have here is probably like a bench and like a bucket and a towel or something like that. I mean, there's just not much. There's no money anywhere in the club. So anything that they do in terms of training is stuff that they're going to have to do on their own. And that's just the way it is. It's what you signed up for. But that won't be the case for long. Remember, we made it to the second round of the FA Cup here, which meant that we got a little bit more money. We are going to have money coming into this club, especially if we can avoid finishing in last place. And here's Poodle with another interception. So we're doing all right so far. And that's another deflection. We have forced them into another corner. And let's see if we can keep this ball out. That's the big question that we have, and we are able to keep it out for at least a little while. Ager, it should have been called for offside, and he wasn't. And I mean, that is not much of a clearance, right? We're not going to win any awards for the clearances that we have here, but we're doing it, and that's what's important. And here they come again. One of these times they're going to score, and then we're going to be in trouble. Inman with it, and Sarpong just takes it away from him. Good job, and then runs past him over to Mac Masters, now to Haran. Haran takes this forward and passes all the way over to Seong. Good job. And Seong's going to move this up, then back to Badhawi. Badhawi over to Cunningham. Cunningham forward for Seong and finds him, and he just takes a shot. Might as well. Try your luck. A little bit of roll the dice, see if you can win the lottery. Here's Poodle now with a free kick. And that goes in. Man, 2 goals for Poodle in this match. I never thought he'd score from there. Look at how far back that is. All the way back there. He scores just like that. I don't know what happened to their keeper. It should be easy. The keeper mistimed that. He decided to go forward. He should have stayed back a step or two. That's in for another goal. 2-0 for Hallam on the road against a very, very good team. And this is not what I was expecting to see today. Wow. Haran here with it. Haran passes back to the Italian, and that's going to be the end of that. And we've reached the end of the half. So, hey, that's not bad. Let's keep it up. That's all we need to say. Keep it up. And now here comes the great defense. we have to figure out a way to stop them from scoring twice here in the next 45 minutes. And if they score twice, then so be it. We just don't want them to score 3 times. It would be awful to lose this match after we've worked so hard to get the lead. And it's Danielowicz there with a good save. So now you might think, oh, well, you need to play defensively. We don't want to do that. We want to score more goals if we can. I mean, why stop doing what's working? But Howie over to Seong, and he loses possession. It doesn't matter. He was offside. He lined up offside. So maybe these offside calls actually have been good, and that it's just the camera angle or something that has me off. I don't know. But, it's my guys. I mean, we don't do anything wrong. What was that? That was a little bit odd. I'm not sure how they managed not to score. Danielowicz was kind of flopping all over the place, and here comes another attack. And we're looking pretty bad in defense, but there's Bad Howie in the end. Over to Boyce, who tries his hardest. He really gave a mighty effort trying to clear that one, and unfortunately just hit it straight into the player covering him. Masters now to Haran. Okay, how can Boyce... Yeah, I guess Boyce was the guy on the bottom. I'm going to say, how can he be offside? We had another guy on the bottom who was further forward, but I guess that was Boyce. But still, it's a... I don't know. We have too many offside calls. Anybody have the mod to take away offside in this game? I just sort of want to see what it's like. Maybe they'll give us a advantage. Or even better yet, if you can make it so that the other teams have to have the offside rule, but we don't. That might be useful. They're calling Ager offside there, and that's another very, very questionable call by the officials. So I don't really understand where these calls are coming from, but they're coming left and right, definitely. And now we need to do something about that. Danielowicz does pounce on the ball in the end, so it works. But that was a little bit scary. Here's Poodle now with the shot, and that just goes over the very top of the goal. He came that close to a hat trick. Do you imagine this guy getting a hat trick? 36 years old, and I keep saying that we're moving on from him at the end of the season. We don't want to pay his big salary anymore. I mean, it's what, 600 or something, 500 a week or something like that. We want to get rid of that big salary. We're done with that. Could you imagine if he would end up being the reason why we end up not just avoiding finishing in last place, but why we get like a top half finish? Maybe we could talk him into staying. I don't know. But I mean, you know how it is. He's 36. I mean, we don't want to mess around too much with that. This isn't a save about hiring a bunch of old guys. Maybe we'll do that one of those days. I love playing with youngsters. Maybe we should have an old guy save. Where we can all listen to stoner rock and just hire a bunch of old guys and reminisce about the 70s. Here's Seong misses that, and Sarpong can't quite win it. Inman forward to Gray, and that's a goal. There it is. Jake Gray scores it, and it's 2-1 now for Hallam. And Cunningham missed the interception. That was the problem. You can watch Cunningham right here. Speaking of old men, the guy who looks like he has gray hair, and see he's out of position, and that's what does it. And Cunningham was trying to get the interception instead of actually playing the man, and that was a mistake. And now we have 25 minutes to go. Cunningham over to Sarpong. Sarpong down to Badhawi. Badhawi back to Cunningham, over to Chu. Cunningham. Forward looking for somebody. Not sure who. Boyce can't get to it, and now they have the ball, and we really need to get back. It's going to be Ager here over to Barzy, to O'Reilly, and these players are much better than ours. Man, Danielowicz, he saw that one coming before it came and got himself into the right position and was able to stop that just in the nick of time. And, I mean, that's a real fortuitous save. Chu is the one who heads that out for another corner, so we get to face another one of these. But, man, what a good save that was. It was like he knew exactly what was happening before it happened. Now, yes, I know that it's an algorithm and the game can do that if it wants, but I still think that was pretty impressive. That shot, however, was not so impressive by them, and so we'll let them have that one. Poodle throws this into Boyce. Boyce to the Italian. He lumps this forward for Masters. Masters has a little bit of space, and he built more space for himself there, and we've won a corner. That was a pretty good job from the 18-year-old. And, hey, this is the reason why we get a bunch of young players. You never know what you're going to get. This is going to be near post. That was actually almost almost bent straight into the goal. It's an interesting corner. I've had corners before that have gone straight in. It's one of those funny football manager things. Here's Poodle with the ball, sitting on a potential hat trick. He passes over to Sarpong, can't quite get to him, and it's Seong who runs all the way back for it. Cunningham now lumps this forward, and it forces another corner, so that's good. We have about 20 minutes left here, and let's see if our luck holds up or not. It's going to be Poodle taking this corner again. And who is it? Masters he's looking for, and Masters can't quite get there, and that's going to be the end of that. I think we want a free kick. Here's Poodle for one more. Oh, and it just misses off the very top of the net, and so that doesn't quite work. We have 15 minutes left now. Horan with it, back to Poodle. Poodle forward for Sarpong, and he gets his head onto it and forces a pretty good save. That's the thing. If we keep believing in ourselves, we're going to keep having those chances. That was good. And yeah, let's keep pressuring them into making little mistakes here and there instead of making them ourselves. And I think that was a mistake. Miller Rodney, the Italian, gets in front of him, and but there is Tommy Wood this time with the header, and that was a mistake that allowed them to have that. Counter attack. And so let's see if we can get a little bit more from the men. It's tied now at 2-2. Now remember, I said coming in, I mean, a draw even would be miraculous for us. Not being completely destroyed by them is kind of what we're hoping for, because they have a better team than we do. We can't get too upset with the players if we lose this match, because we had no business in trying to win it. 10 minutes left, and let's see if we can get one back. That's what we really want. Here's Haran forward for Boyce, and he's fouled from behind, and they just don't call it. Masters, Masters wins it, but it doesn't do us any good. Now, this would keep us in 17th place if it ended up like this. Danielowitz lumps this on forward. We were flirting for a little while with, I think, 15th or 14th place if we had won this match. But as you know, I mean, it wasn't very likely going to stay that way over the course of the full match. It gives us a little bit of time to rest as Fernandez held up the ball. And here they come. And we have forced a corner. So, I mean, that's better than allowing them, I guess, to just sort of cross it blindly into the area. And as you can see, we're pretty good at defending corners. In fact, Haran wins this over to Poodle. Poodle back to the Italian, and it's a lump forward. That wasn't much of a pass. And Masters will head this forward looking for Haran. Can't get it to him. Boyce does a pretty bad job trying to clear that. That's much better. That was much better. They're going to call Wood for offside, which, again, was a questionable call. Boyce here has not been winning a whole bunch in the air, and Chu is in the right place at the right time, and that's another offside call. So the Italian here with his ball up to Masters to Chu. Chu down to Sarpong. Sarpong forward for Poodle. Poodle to Haran to Masters. Masters forward for Boyce. Boyce back to Poodle. Poodle, and that was a really poor decision by him. And we've opened ourselves up for another counter attack. There are a whole lot of red shirts, but Masters does get a hold of it over to Sarpong up to Haran. Haran's got a man. He's got Boyce. Here comes Boyce, and it's a good save by Julian. Man, oh man, here's another corner. And Masters can't quite get on top of that one. Sarpong does his best, but can't quite win it, unfortunately. He wins Seong this time over to Sarpong. Back to Cunningham. Cunningham back all the way back to Danielowitz, so we'll forget about that. Chu has it now up to the Italian. On to Haran. Haran to Boyce, looking good, and they win it in the end. And this is a problem. Danielowitz is able to save the day at the last second. Man, you're going to have a heart attack trying to watch this defense. 4 minutes. We got to do this for 4 more minutes. All right, Masters over to Sarpong, and he gives it up right away. And Chu wins it to Boyce, and Wood is being called for offside, and that's another bad call. Chu was right there with him. I'm not sure if I understand that. So we have a couple of seconds left here trying to eke out a draw. A point is something, and Boyce wins this. Forward for Haran. And it was that close. We were that close to coming off with a shock victory. Again, the draw is as good as a win for us. At this level, a draw is as good as a win, and we will keep it as long as we don't give it up here in the final seconds. And I don't think that we're going to. It's going to be a corner for them. They only have a couple of seconds left. I mean, we're already at full time. And that should be just about it. It's back to Gray over to Donaldson. They just try an emergency shot at the end, and that's the end. So Hampton and Richmond had only a 1.96 XG. We had a 1.45. We had 4 shots on target. They had 6. We played up there with them. We had 51% of the possession, and it ended up being a 2-2 draw. That was a pretty good effort by these guys. I'm proud of what I've seen. Remember, most of this team is made up of a bunch of 18-year-olds, and they're still trying to figure out how to play together. So I consider that to be a really positive result, but we'll see what they say in the team talk. Hope you enjoyed this one. Talk to you later. Bye.